In this video, I will reveal 3 things about our Liebscher and Bracht osteopressure method that I have developed over many years, which you probably did not know. Above all, number 3 will definitely surprise you. So stay tuned, be excited, and we'll also cover 2 of these points ourselves. Number 1. There are spots all over the body, specific spots. If you press on them, then muscles react, it has been shown, and they relax. Number 2. These pressure points are located on the bones, in the periosteum, so to speak, directly on the solid bone, not in the muscles, not in the fascia, not in the tendons, but directly on the bone. And now for surprising point number 3. Assuming you are pressed with osteopressure, or you apply pressure yourself, and you manage to reduce the pain to, for example, 20%. Because the muscle tension decreases accordingly, we know it has been shown that with the appropriate exercises, this level can be at least maintained. If you reduce the pain when you apply pressure yourself, then there is a pretty good chance that not only can it be reduced to 20%, but also that the pain will completely disappear. Yes, and now the best for you, the professionals, the doctors and physiotherapists and naturopaths who learn this therapy with us, who learn 72 points from head to toe, but we are now focusing on 27 of these 72 points. The easier ones to find, where you can't go wrong as much, and you can even press these 27 points on yourself. Please write a comment if you'll try one of these osteopressure points. Let us know how it went. And before we press the 2 most important spots in the back to reduce back pain altogether, let's briefly talk about how osteopressure works as we imagine it as a picture. When the muscle tensions are too great on both sides of a joint and the muscles pull too strongly, the fascia also pull too strongly, then the joint and also the spine are pressed firmly together. And this is, in our experience, the cause of many pain conditions in the body. If you normalize or reduce the excessive muscle tension through this pressing point, the body doesn't need to react as painfully, and the pain will decrease or go away entirely. So, and now we press the 2 most important points that you can try out in case of back pain. The first one is located here at the pubic bone. Specifically, you see here is a small bump and there is a small bump. By the way, all those red dots you see, those are all osteopressure points. Yes? And now we press these 2. It is important to know the location and a bit from which direction you are pressing. The pressure direction, which is seen from the side, is such that you come from approximately 45 degrees in that direction. And you can do that quite comfortably while sitting. Sit down like me and now palpate, that's what it's called, feel, yes? Press a bit into your lower abdomen, and then you'll notice, oh yes, there is a bone on both sides. First, grab the right side and go along the bone until you find a spot that is sensitive. Here, for example, I have one. So simply press on it and breathe, and now actually the same thing happens as in the exercises. The longer you apply this stimulus, whether you stretch or press, it doesn't matter, the more your body starts to reduce this muscle tension. This is about the rectus abdominis muscle, because in our experience, it has been shown to have a lot to do with lower back pain. And then you notice when you press on it, just stay on it calmly and keep the pressure constant, then you will notice that over time, pain will decrease. So this intensity, how much it hurts, will decrease. Just press on it enough that you can still bear it well, and then wait to see what happens. When the pain decreases, you apply a bit more pressure. You always have to wait for 10 to 30 or 40 seconds until the pain diminishes, and then press a little harder. As with stretching, breathing also helps here. Take a deep breath and exhale, then switch to the other side. You can use a different thumb. So press down into the tissue until you reach a solid structure when you feel the bone structure. You also see this direction, it's at a 45-degree angle, and then we apply pressure there and hold it. Feel it, note how much it hurts, the intensity of the pain. Then breathe calmly, let everything settle a bit. Imagine that the pressure is decreasing and the tension is reducing. Breathe and apply a bit more pressure. If you haven't done it yet, join in right away. You can't learn this theoretically, you have to practice it. Of course, the first time it won't work so well, but if you do it regularly, you will become more aware of the body's sensitivity. It will be easier for you to find the spots you need to press. Don't press too much, but also not too little, just like with the stretching exercises. And when you feel that something has happened, that the tension has decreased, then release, rub the spot to calm it down. But there are many spots where you may notice, oh, my fingers get tired, I can't handle this, I need some help. Then you can use our pressure set, which has 3 different attachments. Look, for that I would use the flat one. Here you have such a nice grip, and instead of pressing with your finger, you practically press with the strength of your entire arm, because the fingers only have to hold this ball here, and then you search with one hand. Looking for this bone again, and then you can even apply pressure with both hands. Find the right spot and let the pain decrease. Do the same on the other side. You can also use other household items if needed, though I can't think of anything specific right now. Maybe a bottle, a larger one, otherwise the fingers will be too stressed. Or something that is not completely solid, something made of cork, maybe a small cork or something like that, or a hard rubber or something. And when you notice you already feel less pain, okay, you can say that a lot has already happened at the front, and now we move to the back. What are we doing next? We're going to focus on the back, on this area, and there's a lot of muscle covering this region. At the pubic bone, there wasn't much covering it, just a bit of skin mostly. But when the bone is deeper and covered by muscles, fascia, and other tissues, we can't just push them away. And directly touch the bone. So what do? We press on the muscles and fascia covering this bone, and then you can imagine this pressure reaches the bone area. So imagine you have a sponge and you place it on the table and you want to apply pressure to the table. You press the sponge down, and if there's initially little pressure, the table won't feel much of it. But the harder you press, the more the sponge compresses. The more you press, the more you'll feel it becoming firm underneath. And then the pressure is effectively on the table. We're doing the same here. There's just one problem. This is at the back. Try reaching back there and see if you can trigger anything with pressure. I'll show you from the other side. You should stand or lie down like this, lying on your stomach. That would work too. And then you would have to press here, but you quickly notice, oh, this force is limited and I can't quite get there. And that's why you now need some kind of aid. For this purpose, we have a wonderful cone with a corresponding attachment from the pressure set, which we place on the floor and lie on. Or if we want to better control the pressure, at the beginning I would recommend standing against the wall. You can now check if you have a small ball or something similar that you can use instead. Then you go to the wall, practically placing the cone against it. And now you already notice, oh yes, I feel it immediately. The more you move your feet forward, the more you can lean back, support yourself with your shoulders, just to move it a little bit back and forth. And now you have to find the spot that is sensitive to pain. I have already found it, and I would prefer to just stand still, to be honest, because that just feels good. You'll notice this when you try it. Yes, it will be just as practical as the back technique at the pubic bone. Now we're focusing on the back because the abdominal muscles in the front are shortened due to sitting so much. And this tension has to be addressed in the front. At the back is the reaction, because when something pulls forward and the back extensors have to pull against it. Then they become rock hard. You might be familiar with this from your massage therapist who says things like, "What do you have here? Your muscles are so contracted. It's all one tight mass. We're going to loosen it up now. You'll do this on the right side." Take your time, give yourself 2, 3 or 4 minutes, and then shift to the other side. I think it might not be as visible now, but you know what I've explained. Then lean against it for a few minutes. Afterwards, it's important to compare how it feels. Please write a comment on how you felt afterwards, if your pain diminished. Then do it just like the professionals do. Before it was 100%, and how many percent is it now? And assuming it has now decreased by half to 50%, then you know you can definitely get rid of half of the pain with the exercises. We've been observing this for 37 years. Try it out and feel free to leave a comment about the effect for you, whether you found the spots, and if we should make a video on it if you'd like. Share your opinion on this. And if you want to do a full body routine, then please click here, give it a try. And down here you can subscribe to our channel if you haven't done it yet. And don't forget to activate the bell so that YouTube reminds you when a new video is released. Goodbye.